Hi, and welcome to this soul conversation with my dear friend Lysa Black. Hi, Lysa.
Hello, darling.
So for those of you who don't know Lysa, she's a heart healer, she's an author, she's an amazing, generous, sensitive soul, and she's one of my closest friends. And today we'll be talking about intuitive business and what it means to lead a conscious and soulful business. So my name is Karina Lade, and I'm an intuitive channel, a healer, and a mentor for conscious entrepreneurs. So hi, Lysa. I would love for you to share a bit about who you are and what you do in the world.
Beautiful. I always love time with you, darling. It's so nice to be here. And who am I? I actually call myself the Empress, and I think that's really important to share why I actually was so incredulous to allow myself to adopt such a name. And I was being interviewed recently, and someone asked me, isn't it a bit arrogant to call yourself the Empress? And it caused me to really reflect on my journey as a highly sensitive empath, feeling the emotional pain within everyone else my whole life. Meant that I really struggled with a lot of pain in my tummy, and I actually really struggled with overfeeding until I was 17, and then I actually really struggled with underfeeding myself the next 5 years. Then it took me 5 years to actually heal a binge eating disorder. So what happened for me was that my identity, the truth of who I thought I was wrapped up in shadow behavior. And what I realized is that I rejected my clairsentient gift because I didn't think I should be allowed to know all the information I knew. I knew things I couldn't intellectually know. So I feared myself and my power, and I actually hid in the shadows. And it was a dear friend who did my numerology. I'm a 30 and 3, and she saw this resonance with the Empress archetype that some of us may be familiar with the tarot deck, that the Empress's role is to be connected to heaven on earth, and her purpose is to dispense wisdom from her heart to help other people prosper on their purpose. And as soon as I found out about that archetype, you know, when we find out about things and we just end up researching them forever, and I realized that I found a part of myself that I had forgotten. And so allowing myself to adopt the stage name of the Empress was actually about allowing myself to be seen in the light. So I came out as a professional healer 3 years ago after working in eating disorders for 6 years, where I was unknowingly healing the emotional trauma that was underneath the symptom of their eating disorder. So once I realized what I was doing, because sometimes it takes us a while to figure out what the hell we're doing, I actually had to tell people the truth about what I was doing, and that I was actually an emotional healer. I call myself a heart healer.
Beautiful. I love that story, and I love how you've taken this journey and now you're sharing it with other people and really using your gifts that you've discovered over the years to really help and support your clients in such a beautiful way. So I know, because I know you, and I've also seen what you do online, and you have a really successful business, and I know you do it in a really beautiful, heartfelt, and sustainable way. So I would love for you to share some of the pillars for you that really support that success in a sustainable way. So it's not just about, you know, big success, big money, whatever, but really, you know.
I think for me, I've always been motivated by truly helping people, but the further we progress, the more we actually understand about what it actually takes in order to truly help people. And what we know as healers is that I've really claimed myself as the healer of my own heart. And so what that allows me to do is to see everyone else around me as just reflections of myself, no matter what I'm witnessing in my clients or in the people around me, that I claim responsibility for what I see in them and I heal it within myself. And that has been a huge pillar in my business, to actually claim responsibility for what I'm witnessing. Because a lot of healers and a lot of intuitive business owners have clients and customers that show up and drain their energy or overtax them or speak to them disrespectfully. And sometimes we're like, oh, I can see what that is in you. And a lot of us are very, very perceptive when it comes to seeing outside of ourselves. But I believe true sustainable business is about truly peering within our own hearts to look at our own dissonance, our own incongruencies, our own fear of our magnificence, and challenge to really find that alignment. And sometimes I have to, you know, bow out one side, and then I'm like,
yeah.
And then you kind of find that you master it after you have to go with the polarization of each side for a while. So that would be one, is to always be healing our own hearts and looking at ourselves first, because it's so easy to see everyone else, but claiming that vision of ourselves is probably a real foundation for me.
Beautiful. Yeah, I think it's really, really important. And I think we are very focused on other people. It's not very typical for healers and intuitives. And it's almost like we detach from ourselves and we leave our bodies in order to be there for everyone else. So it's such an important thing to come back into who we are, because that's what makes us unique too. It's our energy and our flavor and our personality and everything that we are. So super important. And then I would love for you to share any breakthroughs you've had in your business that have really shifted something important and big in your business and your life.
I guess just today was a really big example of a really big commitment that I made to myself in regards to money, because I really became aware after I gave birth to my first child that I didn't have a good relationship with money. I criticized money. I looked down on it. I wanted to be someone that didn't need money. And once I had my first child, I really realized that not only was I a nurturer, but I actually needed to provide for his needs. And, you know, our parents all did the very best that they could. And we're often left with these residual imprints of their perspective and their paradigm of money. And so I began really looking at that paradigm and feeling into it for myself. And so I became very conscious of budgeting wants, needs, cut up a credit card, got out of personal debt. That, I think, wise fiscal management is a really, really big pillar in business. And that is where I think I've really had a gradual breakthrough in my business. It was by the time there was 3.5 years between my first child and my second, and I had a boy first and then I had a girl. And when I had a girl, it was very confronting to realize that she would adopt my money paradigm as an adult. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute, this is serious. And I was buying secondhand clothes at that point, which there's nothing wrong with that. But I actually was in a financial position where I needed to buy secondhand clothes because there wasn't the allocation of funds for like full retail price. And so I thought I was being, you know, what's a good word, like thrift. And I thought I was being budget conscious by getting these secondhand clothes. And then I thought, how would I feel if my daughter felt like she had to buy secondhand clothes as an adult? And that really woke me up. And I really realized that for me, I wanted her to feel supported in the world. I wanted her to feel like she could obtain anything that she required and that she had that sense of connection and knowing that she was worth being supported in this world. So what I kind of inadvertently did was I thought about everything I wanted for her and her relationship with money and perception of herself. And I started giving that to myself, which was giving myself a $50 note every week to play with for myself. So that was my money. We started that paying yourself first. And what happens is that as you build your relationship with money, it actually influences every decision that you make in your life, which has, you know, led to, you know, the position where we're in right now. I've been the financial provider for my family for over 2 years. We have the largest amount of savings that we ever have. We have the lowest living costs that we've ever had. We all have everything that we need and want, and we live by a budget, but we don't live in deprivation or lack. And this is like a new realm. I'm like, what is this place? And today I withdrew a substantial amount of money from my business bank account and I put it into a term deposit. And I held these wads of $100 notes. And I felt the sacredness of money. I really felt that feeling of setting an intention 4 years ago with a painful awakening and being willing to be very, very conscious in my vocabulary around money, my thinking around money, and my emotion around money, and doing lots of healing on that. Like, it's always our responsibility to heal our hearts first. But now what that has done for me is, I guess, I feel supported in the world. I feel safe. And when we don't feel safe in business, we make poor decisions.
Yeah.
And when we make poor decisions, other people treat us poorly, and it can spiral down quite quickly. And I'm the empress, for heaven's sake, so I need to be abundant. I'm like, yeah, I need to be abundant. I fully have got to rock this persona. I need to have epic lovemaking with my husband. I need to be that mother nurturing archetype, but I need to be prosperous. And I love wearing velvet and I love buying things that are really, really luxurious. I go, I need to embody the Empress. If I'm wanting to invite people deeper into the truth of who they are, I need to consistently, congruently show up in my truth in order to lead that.
Beautiful. And that's also, that really ties into knowing who you are and communicating that in your business and sharing it, because that's how you'll call in your tribe, because they are the ones who will resonate with that message, either because they are similar to you or because they would like to develop that quality in them that they already have, but that they want to grow. And I think it's so wonderful and it's so great, because like, we're all different, and it's so great to see someone really, because you're just really showing up fully the way you are. And I think it's so great because it feels so genuine, and I know it is. So it's really beautiful to see that in the online world of a lot of like the same stuff, people saying the same things and being very alike. And I think it's great to share just how unique you are.
It is scary though. Like, I really, really empathize that my core client base are all gifted. They're all spiritually gifted, but they have unfortunately all had some very negative experiences with those gifts and how they've been perceived by the public and, or more importantly, their family. And what we do is that when we see those reflections of judgment and criticism, and we've maybe been, left out or ostracized because of them, we actually blame our gifts for that pain. And that's not fair. But we do it because we want to love the people that are close to us. But I've found that coming out as a healer and actually being honest about being an empath, being honest about being highly sensitive, and speaking out about these gifts, obviously that's the reflection of all of my clients. They're coming to me because they're wanting to really accept these gifts, learn how to minimize the downsides, and learn how to maximize the upside. Because when we fully step into our power, our gifts really are the sacred soul medicine that this whole specific tribe needs. And I wish everyone knew that. I wish everyone knew how much who they are individually is exactly who somebody else needs, because there are some people that are totally irritated and aggravated by me, and I honor and respect that. That's okay. But other people just love and adore me, and they're my tribe. But there are some people out there I can't reach. It doesn't matter what I do, I could not reach them, because there's a place for all of us. And I think if we have a scarcity mentality around all rising up together and, oh, look at her tribe, and look, she's got 1 million followers, or she's got 1,000, or she's got 10, we want to place these judgments on it, but it's irrelevant information. The world needs us to stand up in our truth, owning and accepting our gifts, and standing in our own brilliance and magnificence, because that's the pain of the world. That's what's happening. Everyone is deeply frightened of their own magnificence, so they're hiding in the shadows, and we can all see the results of that.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's so great because we're meant to like work together and be like spread our unique light into the world. And that's exactly what we're here to do. We don't have to compare ourselves to anyone else, because people don't need 2 Lysas, right?
Heck no. One is fully sufficient. I don't know, like 50 Karinas would be so magical though. But
I don't know.
It can't be.
You tell my husband that. I'm like, what? No, one is enough. And so I'm super excited that you, Lysa, have accepted to be part of my intuitive business program again this year, because you'll be talking about authentic marketing, and you're so good at this. You're so good at sharing how you feel and what you go through in such a vulnerable and at the same time really genuine way, because we all know what the fake vulnerable sharing feels like, right? It's icky. Yeah. So this is something I really love when you do, and I think it's super inspiring, and I really want to share that with my tribe of women gathering already for this program. So so we'll be playing together again starting in September. So I just wanted to share a little bit about the program. I basically just created the kind of business program I would have loved to join when I started out, right? Exactly. With all the things that I've learned during my time in business. So I started my business almost 6 years ago. And so it's really about it clear about who you are, what your purpose is, what you're, tuning into the soul of your business, and co-creating, creating projects, connecting with your soul clients, really calling in your tribe. And we're going to be talking about and experiencing, because it's a very experiential program. So it's basically powerful energy practices that you can use all the time and forever to really create that deep connection with yourself, with anyone who comes into your business world, right? And then calling in all of the support that you need to grow your business. Because it's really not about doing this on our own, but really calling in. We can't do it.
Really accept it. I would not be here if I didn't have support from powerful women like you and some of the other mentors that I've strategically chosen. Because when you don't have a skill set and when you don't have a sufficient level of support, you wobble the hell out, you doubt yourself, and you retract. Mm-hmm. And when you're in that contraction space, you seriously can't show up in your soul. No one will see you. They're not going to notice. And I've really found that love is the crucial ingredient for expansion. And that's why I adore you as such a dear friend, and why I really think that is the golden element in this program, is that you are such a deeply loving person that you afford them this level of safety and security to be loved as they are, where they are, how they are, who they are. And that from that, there's this gestation process where they just naturally unfurl and unfold. And it looks magical. You know the ingredients. You know what will happen. But when they're actually in that process, that organic unfurling, manifestations come forward to validate that they are needed in the world, that they are appreciated, that people are seeking out their expertise. And this is everything that we couldn't see when we first started. We're like, is anyone going to like, can I help you? And it's just not good. And so I think being around powerful models like you, this program, it just really is a powerful foundation to be able to really center in your purpose and really rise.
Thank you so much, Lysa. That's so kind of you. I really feel like I love holding a loving space, because when these women come into the space, because all the women who are in my groups, they're all super loving, super supportive. They are the ones who care for everyone, right? Their clients, their families, random people on the bus, everyone. And so for them to step into the space, and all they have to do is show up fully. You don't have to know anything about business. You can know stuff about business if you want to. Like it's not, all you need to do is really show up, and then really allow yourself to receive that love and that support. And it's just amazing how things start falling away and clearing up. And then it's like their light just emerges and things flow from there. And for me, that's how you create a sustainable, beautiful business from the inside and out, not just having the outer success, because I've got some really successful clients. And I have to say that when we start our business, or the first years, it's like the goal is to make it viable, right? To make enough money so we can support ourselves. Of course, we love what we do, but it's like that big goal, right? So that we can keep doing what we love. But sometimes you reach that point and even further. And if you haven't created your business on the right solid foundation, you're going to feel empty. Something's going to feel off. You're not going to be able to enjoy what you've created, because it's like you're not really in it. So this for me is really something for anyone who wants to do business, create business, and live a soulful life, and really have that I guess holistic approach to your work, because it's not a separate thing. It's going to weave into your life, your relationships, everything. And it's I mean, it's pretty deep, and a lot of stuff comes up. It's not always comfortable, but when you're in that discomfort and you're surrounded by, well, not just me, but also the group, something amazing happens. That's when the magic starts operating. So
it really does. And I'm just so in awe that you've allowed yourself to bring this through, that when we really do bring forward the most powerful offerings that would have totally been perfect for us, we know we have that assurance, because where we've been on the trajectory of our business, we know the pivotal requirements that have gotten us here. So the fact that someone can just access that through your course is so efficient. And I'm like this progress machine. Like, I'm going to be really talking about soul sharing as a form of authentic marketing. I mean, this took me 6 freaking years to figure out how to contribute value in a way that was aligned, that was truly of service, that would actually put me out there in a way that would allow people to distinguish my value and my expertise and seek me out, that people ask to work with me. I mean, that was not my reality for so long in business. I was like, hello, I'm Lisa. Would you like to work with me?
Yeah.
You know, and it wasn't a really good energy. And I didn't know, because masculine strategies just don't work for sensitives and intuitives. Putting out an offer, only 10 spaces left, call now, we'll miss out, and blah, blah, blah. It just doesn't work. We have to really share the truth of who we are, be honest about our gifts, and make a true contribution that we are here on the planet to make before we get paid.
Yeah, that's so important. And that's the thing. I feel like when we invest in the right support at the right time, and of course, only you can know this, right? And I really trust that the women who say yes to this program, they know they can, I mean, they can be scared and they can feel wobbly, but when something is right, you know it. So trusting that, because I know for me, it's been amazing to have the right support and to have mentors like you and some of my other mentors and the programs I've been a part of that have really, really touched me and really helped me create the business I have now. And it's just been invaluable, because it's like that kind of gift that keeps on giving. Like, it's just years after I still benefit from the things that I've learned and that energy and being a part of something like that. And I think it's, because the thing is, we can move forward in our businesses on our own. It's just, it's going to take so much longer. And
so
it's really lonely.
Don't make it hard. You know, I really think a lot of people think it has to be hard. And I am fully in ease and flow now. Like, I don't do hard business. If something feels hard, I'm like, oh, this must not be for me. I've gotten entangled in something that wasn't actually meant for me, because you can't do it because it's too taxing. And you will drop that or drop yourself at some point. It has to be light and easy, because it has to be sustainable. We can't start and stop. We need to keep that flow.
Yeah. And if we imagine ourselves 5, 10, 20 years from now, is how you're working now, is that going to work 20 years from now? And that's how I always think of my work. Like, I don't do busy all the time. I don't fill my days with work all the time. Like, I make time for self-care. I make time for the things I love. And it's just creating, I've created such a beautiful life with my business. And it's really important to do that, because there's something inside that just clicks when we live in a way that feels truthful to us as well. And you can't fake authenticity, can you?
Well, you can try, but everyone can sniff it a mile away. You know, intuitives, highly sensitives, they're amazing. They're totally in tune to sniffing that stuff out.
Yeah. So also, for anyone listening to this, trust yourself. If something doesn't feel right and something doesn't sit right with you, there probably is something off, right? Because it's, I mean, you can work the marketing magic and you can create the beautiful website and the beautiful profile and everything. But if there's nothing underneath it, people are going to feel that at some point, and it's just not going to work. So trust that. So thank you so much, Lysa. I love talking to you, and we could chat forever. And I just want to share that there are links below to Lysa's website, so you can find her, my website, and the link to my program. So if you have any questions or you want to get in touch with us, please contact Lysa, please contact me, and we would love to hear from you. So thank you so much, Lysa. Thank you to everyone watching.
Thank you.
Thanks.